just left it in his inbox.
They're like.
Ethics is fun. You get to know what's out. And our bylaws are due. I forwarded it, our due today. I forwarded it to them during spring break. I was like, hey guys, like, let's not forget about this. Because you know that I'm forgetful. That's why I forwarded it to them. Second, all of us.
Alrighty,
They didn't even
we're
bring it
gonna
up.
start today at 5:30. Everybody sit down. Okay, we're gonna start with prayer today, and Madison's leading that.
Dear God, please be with us during our final student senate meeting this year. Please be with the student body as we travel home for the summer. Thank you for your perpetual blessings and may we have a productive finals week. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, now roll call. I apologize, my question is quite boring. You can only ask this question one time during the year. What is the single thing that you are most looking forward to this summer? Michael Camilleri,
The weather.
Madison Fenchfield,
My wedding.
Matthew Dunn,
My sister's wedding.
Destiny Harris, Destiny, Charlie Bacon,
Summer abroad in Rome.
Caitlin Curtin,
Manning with summer, so that should be fun.
Richard Camus, Richard, Pat Thiessen,
Being home.
Kyle Lochner,
Working at an environmental nonprofit.
Annie Tomko, Eric G,
Probably just the weather.
Josephine Oiladoyle, sorry, Josephine,
She's not here.
Taryn Wilson,
Studying abroad in London.
Michelle Savarino,
Going to the beach.
Edward Curry,
Not here.
Jack Rankin,
Venus.
Don Gibbons.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's up, Richard?
What are you looking forward to in the summer?
I'm going for a study abroad, probably on the same part.
Adeline Clemmer? Not here. Not here? Okay. Kate Rector? Maya Triba?
Getting back with my family.
Joy McClellan?
Spending time on the lake.
Connor Klimek?
Seeing my dogs.
Nathan Ward?
Weather.
Angelica Serta?
Study abroad in Ireland.
Riley Evers? Ben Solom?
Study abroad in Rome.
James Colley? James? Michael Heffernan? Michael? Kyle Cygalewski?
Got fun sleep.
Teo All? Teo? Laurel Hamilton?
$5 for that.
Z Zavala? Z? Gabriel Polanecki?
Going to Louisiana.
Patrick Mulligan? Patrick? Walker Bagley? Walker, no. Michaela Copley?
Graduating.
Emma Herron? Not here. Eamon Tracy? Okay.
Not here.
Ben Fisher?
Haircut for my barber back home.
Aaliyah Applin?
Just getting to spend time with my family.
Diego Gonzalez?
Being with the family.
Andrew Ryan?
Just kind of home.
Leo Wong?
Probably just messing with my cat.
Kelsey Casello?
Probably the weather.
Danny Ward?
No homework.
Okay, fair. Elijah Jones? Sam Robinson?
Spending time with family.
Me, going to the Jersey Shore. Joseph Tooney. Megan Klein. Jerry Bielhauer.
Gonna be working in DC.
Sonia Lumley. Herbert Kennedy School. And that is it. Thank you very much. 3.
Hey, any motion to motion to approve the minutes? We'll now vote on the motion to approve the minutes. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? They're approved. All right, executive announcements. Today is Denim Day. Kudos to everybody wearing denim. We'll be taking a picture shortly after this for student government. But next up, we have the CCC presentation.
No, that flies for once.
Okay, yeah, works.
You guys have like a clicker?
Let me see if this. Oh, okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, it works.
Alright,
Okay.
go to stand with your point.
Yeah, you can stand up front, yeah.
Yeah, so, thank you. My name is Leo. I'm the CC president for, technically I started in March. I go until March next year as well. So I'm just going to talk about how student union funding works, overall. So we get 100% of the student activities fee. That's the $95 you see in your, enrollment fees. That's $47.5 per semester. So it can vary a little bit depending on who's going abroad, who's taking a break for the semester from the undergrad student body. The shirt comes from the football shirts we sell every year. It's a flat $125,000. So whether we sell 100 or 100 million, we will only get 125,000 from that. Furthermore, the student union does have an endowment. It's undisclosed what this number is to basically everyone, including myself. And so we get a little bit of interest from that, but it's hard to actually track how much we actually get from there. And that goes to a huge fund that goes to FMB. It typically ranges somewhere between $950,000 to $1 million every year, of which the CCC gets 40%, which is allocated to the clubs. And how that works is we get that huge chunk of money. All of that is reserved for the clubs. We allocate some of that, most of that for like, if it's 400,000, we spend about 175,000 on spring allocations. Rest of that goes to contingency and collaborations. Collaboration fund is 0.75%. Not many people use it, and that's why that's so low. Collaboration fund is for whenever a club or another student organization basically wants to collab with each other or halls. Special interest organizations, again, not that much capital expenses necessary, so that's why it's so low. 59,000 or 59%, which is fixed costs. That's mostly for everyone else here, including all the hall councils, all the school or years for like freshmen, junior, senior, and sophomores, but also covers like the wages for people who work within the student union, such as Heather Legal. If you ever meet her, she's great, but she basically acts as our internal finance treasurer person. Bookkeeper, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. And so, yeah, so the student activities fee, it's been $95 every year since 2008. So it should be $120 if you want to scale for inflation, but it hasn't been increased since then. We've been noticing the issue with that slowly but surely. And so this was 74.1% of our entire student budget. And source two, again, the shirt, it's 13% of the budget, $125,000 no matter what happens. And the student endowment returns is 12.9%. So this is not the $20 billion that Notre Dame has overall for all its projects as well as campus. This is for us specifically as the student union, and it basically allows us to have a form of autonomy from Notre Dame and the office, because if we ever disagree with a policy, it allows us to still exist without having funding cut off and being shut down. Now, so the CCC takes a very large chunk of change, and you guys may be wondering, rightfully so, why is that? And that's because we fund all clubs that are undergrad on campus, which is about 324, and have 3,500 ND central requests in a single semester, quite a bit. And so that 40% is, again, just entirely left up to the clubs. So if anyone here has ever filled out a spring budget sheet, you know we ask a lot of questions, and that's because we get a lot of requests. So spring allocations are the most common ways clubs get money from us. So spring allocations are the gateway that clubs apply to for our contingency, winter applications, and everything like that. And we operate in a need-based system, meaning that clubs that are going to be in debt next year are the clubs that get prioritized, whereas clubs that are self-sustaining are mostly left as is. And that's because, again, we don't have enough funds to meet all the club requirements. And that is also why we are so strict with our requirements and policies. So every single year, we do a spring allocation process that is very intensive. So number one is an individual review by the CC division representatives. We have 6 divisions. Every club falls into one of these, which are performing arts, athletic, cultural, academic, special interest, and social service. So every club that falls in that division will have one division representative checking that spreadsheet that we submit. Furthermore, that division will then meet with whoever prepared that budget sheet. Then we'll have all CCC divisions coming together and going through the budget sheet a third time. These are called our interdivs, and these take up the majority of the CCC's time during spring. And finally, we have our final cut, which is where every single budget sheet that's been reviewed is put in this massive spreadsheet. And then we basically say, are we gonna fund this club? Or are you not gonna fund this club? And that also takes a decent amount of time. So throughout this, we try and maintain communication as much as possible. So please direct those to the CC email whenever reallocation happens or whenever there's a general funding question. But our main goal is to make sure that every single thing that's presented on that budget sheet is as accurate and financially responsible as possible. So again, these are the CCC's divisions, and the structure is basically, we have our exec board can't vote, and we essentially just run the meetings, decide a policy. Most of the work is actually done by our divisions, so every division chair, which is also a enumerated position in the Constitution, basically handles the meetings between clubs and as is the main source of communication between clubs and the CCC. But again, you could also just email the CCC directly. And then the division representatives are the people who really make the CCC what it is, just going to the clubs, asking the questions, really diving deep into the facts. And this is an example of what our budget sheet looks like. So that's for a single event, you have to fill out every single thing, every single cost you would project on having, such as food, travel, gifts, stuff like that. And then our process is we go back to these after clubs fill them out, zero out things that can't fit in with our policy, such as off-campus food. While we do fund food on campus, we can't fund food off campus because we try and make each dollar allocated to clubs enrich the Northern community. And if it's off campus, it's much harder for the community to have access to that food. And so, yeah, currently we have 324 active undergrad clubs. It varies a little bit every year depending on what clubs we approve for new club status and what clubs get inactivated because they fail to meet certain requirements. And we also have around 150 clubs requesting an allocation every year on average for the past 5 years, quite a bit, with 46.3% of clubs relying on CCC funding every year. And so again, in the past 5 years, we've had about $1.4 million in requests every single year with only 384,000 in allocatable funding. So again, that's why we are so stringent with the way we do our budgeting. And so 72.5% requests can't be fulfilled by the CCC, which is why we encourage clubs to basically be as active as they can on Indeed Day and other fundraising events as that. And so when the CCC can't meet the needs of a club, clubs get less active or less accessible. For example, clubs need to pay at least $5 in dues every semester, but clubs that are more expensive tend to spend a lot more for dues, such as men's ice hockey, which spends about $600 in dues every year, I believe. And that's why we have such a huge variety within campus, because we can't fund these clubs to help reduce their costs because we just don't have the money to do so half the time. And so if we increase student activities fees, this is basically what the breakdown will be looking like. So last year, I remember there was a move that failed to increase activities fees by $5. That would have been a $44,000 increase. Now, I'm not here to make any sort of like statement regarding if you should do this. I'm just telling you the facts and my professional opinion. So as it stands, the $95 may potentially be very unsustainable if we keep it as is, because we've been seeing a lot of cost increase with the clubs overall. Furthermore, whenever you have like these food trucks and stuff on campus, their costs are also going to increase dramatically over the years. And since we have embraced them since 2008, we've been slowly seeing the quality of these events go down every year. Now that $100 increase would be a $44,000 increase. It wouldn't solve everything, definitely, but it will definitely help us go on for a little bit longer as is. $120, which is the scale it is supposed to be at, is a $223,000 increase for us. Now, we do realize this is a large gap from like a $25 jump, and that's why, again, this is probably not the option people should go with or want to go with, because it also could potentially lead to a bunch of funding issues and scholarship issues down the line. But again, there is a gap in what we can do and what we actually need. So just please keep that in mind whenever you're planning for your events next year, because once again, you may not be able to hold events as you need or as you want. So it's important to prioritize where you want to spend your funding on. Thank you.
So much.
And now we're gonna go to general orders. There's nothing in there, but we have a few items in new business.
Seek unanimous consent to move items A through D to general orders.
Are there any objections to the unanimous consent to move?
Motion to move items A, C, and D, general order.
Are there any objections to moving A, C, and D to general orders? Seeing that there are none, we'll move A, C, and D. First, we have item A, ending that up. There is no motion to dispense with the reading.
Motion to dispense with the reading. Second.
We now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstained? The reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning.
Motion to move out of questioning and into debate. Second.
We'll now vote on the motion to move out of questioning into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? We are now in debate.
Just really quickly, is Anna here or anything like that? Yeah, so sorry, if you wouldn't mind leaving the room just while we're in debate and voting, that would be actually amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so I'm on FMB and we are the ones who saw this nomination and approved it internally. Anna's been great so far. She worked on the shirt last year. And the president herself wrote a really nice paragraph about all the hard work she did. So I definitely support this nomination.
Move out of debate and into a motion. Second.
We will now vote on, we will now, oh shoot, we will now, shoot.
Sorry?
Can you tell me?
Oh, no. Vote on the motion.
Oh, we will now vote on the motion, to move. Oh my God.
Out of debate.
Out of debate into a vote. So sorry, guys. Oh my God, it's the last thing.
I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just forgot. Okay, all those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, we'll now vote on the president of the shirt project nomination. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Awesome, it passes. Don't know why it's linked here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, now to item B. There's no.
To dispense with the reading.
Second.
We'll now on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, the reading is dispensed with. We're now in questioning.
Why you're trying to write this legislation. Yeah, so it was a Siegfried versus Dunn match, and it was a championship match. Didn't turn out as planned. In debate, I would like to elaborate on that, but yeah, that's why.
Motion to move out of questioning and into debate.
We now vote on the motion to move out of questioning into debate. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? We're now in debate.
So I just want to say a few things about this beautiful resolution. The Dunn blue team last year won 0 games and had 0 goals. They were very unideal. Some would call terrible. This year, they had a lot of goals and they made it to the championship team. So I'm really proud of those guys. It was a beautiful match. So much emotion. You could tell both sides really cared. And while it wasn't the outcome that would have been desired on the Dunn side, Siegfried did a good job. They played great, and I think that should be celebrated.
Any other points of debate?
Motion to move out of debate and into a vote.
We'll now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? We'll now vote on SS 252605, men's inter-hall soccer win recognition. All those in favor? All opposed? Oh,
Do you mind if we actually go back to it?
Yeah, all those in favor?
Is your hand up? I know, there goes number for that. It's the-
All opposed? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
13, 14, 16, and then you abstain.
All abstain? It fails. The resolution fails. Apologies, okay. Item C,
Oh, sorry.
yes.
It can be made now, but it can be made, it doesn't have to be addressed.
Now vote. We will not vote on the motion.
It does have a second, then it,
Unanimous, what, sorry?
it doesn't, if there's a second, they can.
Oh, is there a second? We will not vote on the motion to adjourn.
Just keep in mind, there's still item C on the agenda in general orders.
There's still item C, so yeah, just point of reference, I would really recommend the opposite, but all those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, the motion failed. Okay. Wow. Item C. Okay, item C.
Motion to dispense of the reading.
Second.
We now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? The reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning.
We've got a question, get into debate.
We now vote on the motion to move out of questioning into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? We're now in debate.
Is there a reason why the meeting did not call a joint April?
Yeah, I can elaborate on that. So this is like one of the constitutional requirements that we have. But obviously with it being less than a month at the end of the year, many Notre Dame administrators have a lot on their calendars. And then with the recent passing of the Pope and with everything going on with funding in DC, there's just a lot added on those calendars. So when I reached out to administrators to schedule this, I received response that there was just no available time from 9 to 5 on their calendars for the rest of the year. And so I just kind of didn't have an option then to reschedule. So I emailed everyone relevant to this and told them that I will reach back out during the summer and schedule the August one. I believe there's one in the middle of the year. I think it's January, if I'm not mistaken, as well as the one for next year. So this is not a problem the following year. And that's basically why this is happening.
Move out of debate into a vote.
We now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, awesome. We'll now vote on SO 252609, an order suspending the April Campus Safety Summit. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? It passes. Awesome. Okay. Move past the business. Okay. Okay, any announcements?
There was a lot of people who came in late today, so if you could just come up and see me after, just so I make sure that I mark you down as here. I don't want to send anyone to ethics if you actually were here for. I don't want to do that to ethics personally. I have to go to that though. Please don't.
My announcement really quickly is you guys made it. Great semester. Can't wait for the fall at the LDOC. And then Sam?
Yeah, just very briefly, I know I've been kind of annoying in emails the past couple days, but if you do have if your organization still needs to submit bylaws or anything like that and hasn't, just reminder that's technically due first.
Next week?
No, this is the last Senate meeting for the academic year. Yeah, you should. We need a motion to adjourn for summer recess.
Motion to adjourn for summer recess.
We now vote on the motion to adjourn for summer recess. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Awesome! We survived.